Nowadays, we all have bundles of devices connected to our USB ports. Printers, flash drive, external hard drives, and whatnot. But what if you wanted to access those devices remotely or use them from another system? This is Leo from File Critic, and today we'll be taking a look at USB Network Gate from Eltima. USB Network Gate comes with a 4 megabyte installer and is very utilitarian in nature. It does what it's supposed to do. It does not try to be something else, which is a good thing these days. So once you open up the user interface, you will be taking a look at all the devices that are connected to your computer via USB. As you can see, we have the USB tablet interface and we have an external hard drive that is a Western Digital My Passport drive connected to our USB 3 port. Now the interface is pretty simple and intuitive. As you can see, we have the share button on each of our devices. So if we want to share a certain device, we can just go ahead and hit the share button. If you hit this settings button at the right, it is going to give you the network configuration. So you can listen for an incoming connection on a port, or you can connect to a remote client. So if you have, let's say, another computer that you want to share this device with and it's already turned on and online, you can just type in the IP address of that computer over here and the port number, and it is going to connect to that remote client automatically. So you don't have to do anything on the other computer. You can grant access from the host to the client rather than having to connect from the client to the host. So you can do it either way. We're just going to listen for incoming connection on this port. Now, an important thing whenever you're sharing anything is security. So what security measures does this software provide? Actually, it gives you pretty much all the tools you want. It looks very simple, but as I said, it has all the adequate or necessary tools included. For example, you can encrypt the connection and you can even compress it. So you can select the best size compression, which is going to reduce data usage, or you can select the best speed compression, which is going to ensure that there's a low latency between your remote client and your host. So if you're using, let's say, something like a mouse or a data transfer device or something of that nature that requires frequent interaction, you probably want to go with the best speed compression because you don't want a high latency, because the delay is going to give you trouble while operating the device. However, if you're using something which you just need to send a signal to, like let's say a printer, that you don't really care if there's a few seconds of delay because it's just, you just need to use it once, then you can go ahead and select the best size compression. Or you can go ahead and select no compression at all. Now, of course, you want to protect your devices. So what you can do is you can set in your password over here. So let's say I'm just going to set a password right now. And then it asks you to retype it. So once you're done, you can allow this connection by other users. So I guess this is more useful in a host-to-client connection scenario. So if you don't allow this, it means that you'll have to terminate the connection from the host itself. You can't do it the other way around. Or other users cannot disconnect your USB devices. Now you can type in a device description over here, like let's say we'll just type in external hard drive. And now we're ready to share this device. So as you can see, it's now shared on this port, and the symbol shows us that it is password protected. Since this is going to be a cloud-based connection, what we need to do in order to connect to our external hard drive is, once again, you open up the software on your client, and when you're ready, you go ahead and hit connect. It should automatically show up over here in remote USB devices if it's on a local network. If it's on a WAN or some other network, then you probably need to type in the IP address of the host machine. Now, in case you guys don't know how to check the IP address of your system, I'm just going to show that right now. So you go ahead and open your network and sharing center and just click on whatever is your connection. If it's a Wi-Fi, it's going to show up as Wi-Fi. If it's Ethernet, it's going to show up as Ethernet. And here you're going to see your connection speed and stuff, and you need to click on details. And there you go. Here's your IP address. IPv4 address, this is what you want to use. If your ISP uses an IPv6 address, you probably need to use this, but most likely you just need to use the IPv4 address. This is the number you want to use. So once you've got that sorted out, all you need to do is hit connect. And now it's going to ask you for the password, which I'm going to type in right now. And once you do that, you should be connected to your USB device. As you can see, we're now connected to my Passport external hard drive. This is the description and this is the name of the device. And now if we go ahead and open our File Explorer, you can see we have our drive over here and we can access it. So that is how USB Network Gate works. As you can see, it's very easy to set up and get started with. So if you're the person who has a bunch of USB devices lying around and you frequently, let's say you have these devices at home and maybe you want to use them from office, or you're on a LAN network and you've got a bunch of computers connected, some kind of enterprise or office scenario, and you need to access some of the devices that are connected to one computer from another computer, this is the ideal solution for you. It's very easy to set up. The install process was a breeze. Like, it just took me like 2 minutes to get started with this. So really convenient. Now, apart from the basic stuff, let's just look around and see what other stuff that we have going on over here. So in the view window, you can select it to show only connected devices if you have a bunch of devices. I mean, right now we just have one, so it seems pretty straightforward, but when you're using a lot of stuff, it can get cluttered. So you can only show connected devices, or you can select not to show empty shared ports, only ones that have devices connected to them. You can show the USB port location. There you go. You can turn that on and off, and you can show the activity log if you want. Now, if the device you want to connect to does not show up, this is how I told you had to use the IP address. This is where you do that. You can add a server using this Connect Devices menu, and you can type in the IP address over here and hit OK. Or if you directly want to connect to a particular device, you can type the IP address of the server and the port on which it is shared. Or you can allow a callback connection to that port, which basically means that you listen to that particular port, and the moment the host calls back, you're connected. So it's kind of the reverse way to do a connection. And you have the option to disconnect all your devices in one go, or you can select a device and disconnect manually from here, but since the button's over here, you'll never need to use this menu for that. And it has auto connect and RDP isolation, which means it can isolate your particular device. And you have your basic sharing options, which we've already taken a look at. Once you select something, it is available. So that's my overview of USB Network Gate 7 by Eltima software. It's a really nice utility. So if you have any particular needs that are in line with what the software has to offer, it's going to work really well. So for all of you guys who have a lot of devices connected to your local network, or those who have bundles of USB devices, you use a ton of USB devices, check it out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video if you did, and subscribe to our channel for more. And don't forget to check out the written review at www.filecritic.com. This is Leo signing out, and I'll see you in the next one.